Today my friends over at
Kyoku
sent me 9 different kinds of knives that I'm going to be reviewing in this video.
Thank you, Kyoku.
I'm definitely going to try each of these knives for their purposes. Just so you know, these knives, I'm going to leave a product link at the bottom. It's on Amazon. You'll be able to find all 9 knives there. I'm pretty satisfied with these knives. I was looking for knives already. I was shopping, I seen different knives like on Instagram, and I was looking for a Japanese knife. So it just so happens they reached out and they gave me 9 different knives. So I'm gonna give this as honest as a review as I can for you guys. I will let you know that these knives, they're not that expensive. Make sure you guys subscribe to Orozco's Kitchen and make sure you follow these guys on Instagram. They have like 7,000 followers, always coming out with new products. But yeah, check them out. Let's go ahead and get started and let's get chopping, guys.
So the first knife we're going to be reviewing today is called a paring knife. And with this knife, you can cut several different things. But before we go ahead and start chopping, let's take a look at this knife. This is made with Japanese steel. It comes in a really cool case and like this leather case for the knife itself. These are razor sharp. So I'm going to get a lemon straight off of my tree and start chopping it in slices. This knife literally has no resistance when you're cutting it. And I suggest that you try this knife out on a cutting board, not on a plastic board. You can just get more feel of the knife, all right? But so far, so good. I really like this knife. So next, we're going to try out the boning knife. And this knife is more for like cutting meats, trimming like brisket, or cutting chicken breasts or chicken legs. For this demonstration, I'm going to get some chicken legs, as me and the kids wanted to try out making chicken lollipops. So I thought this was the perfect knife to try this on. So what you want to do with this is just cut it from like about a little bit under half of the chicken leg and strip the bottom portion of the chicken. But this knife is just perfect for this. When I seen that you guys were sending me this knife, I couldn't wait to try it. Especially, I can't wait to try it on a brisket. Because brisket, you need a very sharp knife to trim around those edges. But for this, look how nice it made this chicken lollipop. Oh my God. Super nice knife. I'm loving this one. So the next one is a knife that you'll basically be using for just about anything. This is a chef knife. All right, and this comes in a beautiful case, as you know. Nice leather case. This one's going to be kept right next to me in the kitchen. I'm always going to be going to this knife. And it has a very light weight. And this is off the Koi series. It's a new Shogun series that Kyoku has. And this is me chopping some oranges, man. And it's just cuts like butter. It's so freaking sharp, man. So sharp that I actually ended up cutting my knife cleaning one of these. So you gotta be very careful using these knives. These things are no joke, super razor sharp. All right, so the next one we're gonna try is a kiritsuke. All right, and some of these names, if I butcher the name, I'm sorry. It's hard for me to pronounce some of these, but I'm trying. All right, so this one here is super duper sharp as well. Comes in this beautiful case, as you know. And for this one, I'm going to demonstrate using an apple. I'm going to chop it in half and then cut some slices. Like I said, this thing cuts like butter. Really like this one for apples, as I juice a lot. So I'll probably be using this one as well. Keep this one right next to me in the kitchen. And it's nice for dicing too. If you want to dice something up really quick, you can probably do fruits and vegetables with this one. So the next knife is going to be the Nakiri knife. And this is the one that actually I got cut on. Yeah, so this one you have to be super careful when you're cleaning it, because it's like a rectangle shape. And it was kind of my fault. I was cleaning onion off of it at the end, but I didn't capture that part where I got cut. I was in a rush. It has nothing to do with the knife itself. All right, but it's just super razor sharp. All right, and this is the way I chop onion. I chop it in half. And I don't recommend you cleaning anything with your hand. All right, so make sure you use like a rag or something else, or wash it in, but do not wipe it off with your hand. I learned my lesson. But yeah, for chopping this thing, you don't even have to chop it that hard, and it just cuts really, really fast. And what I like, if I'm making like ceviche or some other kind of food that requires onion, like tacos, I can go ahead and chop a lot of onion quickly, which is different than using like a chef's knife. So this knife is badass. I really like this knife. I didn't even know I needed it, but now I do. All right, so the next knife we're going to try out is the Santoku knife. And I'm pretty sure I said that right. Okay, so let's go ahead and open this next one. We're going to check this one out. And as you can see in my finger, I got a Band-Aid. Yeah, I'm telling you, I did cut myself. So this one has a rigid shape, and it has like a little curved edge on the top, which is pretty cool, but it's for a specific purpose as well. So for this one, it's going to be more for like cutting fruits. I'm going to go ahead and chop up some strawberries. But yeah, I'm going to cut this thing in little thin slices. You can cut mangoes on this. You can also cut some watermelon slices. But for this demonstration, I'm going to be using strawberries. And this thing honestly just cuts beautifully. Look at this. Just take a quicker look. Take a little bit closer look at this strawberry. All right, guys. So the next knife I'm going to be using is a utility knife. Now this knife, this is like the knife, your go-to knife. Anytime you need to cut anything quickly, this is the knife to go to. I'm going to be dicing up some limes. And I'm Mexican, so I love to be cutting limes. So I'm definitely going to be using this knife. This is like a party knife for me. So if you're making some margaritas or if you're making some tacos, you know, go ahead and get your limes out and chop them up. This is going to be the perfect knife for you. It's razor sharp, and you can just really shape these limes however you want. All right, but yeah, I love this knife too. This is definitely a winner. All right, so let's go ahead and check out the vegetable cleaver. This knife is ginormous. It's pretty intimidating when you open it. I'm going to show you guys right now. So this one, I was cutting some cabbage with it, but honestly, it's a beautiful knife. It's very attractive. It's one of those big, huge, giant chef knives, but this is called the vegetable cleaver. It's very sharp. You can cut meat, chop meat with it too, but I'm going to go ahead and demonstrate chopping up some cabbage. We're making some food for St. Patrick's Day, so we made some sauerkraut with this. So let's go ahead and cut off a couple slices from this cabbage, and then we're going to go ahead and dice it up. This is one more slice here. Okay, now we're going to put that to the side and start dicing this up. But what I loved about this is it's giant, it's heavy, but it doesn't feel that heavy on your hand. But when you start dicing it, it's very easy to dice this up. I was dicing with one hand, no problem. You could also do the two-hand action if you'd like, but one hand, it felt very natural in my hand. I was pretty impressed on how well these knives performed. I used to only having a chef's knife, but now that I have these variety of knives, I'm really excited about it. So this steak knife, this is the very last knife that we're going to review. I went ahead and made a pastrami corned beef brisket, and I'm going to show you guys slicing into that brisket. But let me show you how it comes with all 4 knives, which is pretty cool. And what I ended up doing with these knives is I actually ended up giving my dad one, my brothers, each of them a knife, because I only need one and I like to share. So this knife was very, very sharp. I was impressed on the quality of this knife. The handle too, it has a beautiful handle. The finishes on this, that wood is just gorgeous. So let's go ahead and get this meat on there. And this is the flat from a brisket. We're going to just chop it, and then we're going to start dicing into it. Slices, one slice at a time. And look at this meat. It was so delicious. This knife made it so easy for me to cut through this meat. And I really liked all of these knives. And honestly, I would say these knives were like a 9 out of 10 for me. I don't know how much better they could have been, you know, but it's hard to give anything a 10. But just look at how beautiful this meat is. And the knife is just a show quality. No wonder it's called a Shogun. Thanks again, Kyoku, for sending me these knives. I'll see you guys on the next review.